نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك.
Welcome to Salam TV, and this is a special program. As you see, we are at the Turkish embassy, and in the front of camera, the one you are seeing is Her Excellency the Ambassador SEDEF, YAVUZALP. If I pronounce it badly, she will pronounce it nicely, but you are most welcome. I'm your host as usual, Al-Haj Abdul Karim Karisa. We are so delighted to be with Her Excellency Ambassador, and more particularly at a time when it is still ringing in everybody's mind after the visit of His Excellency President Erdogan here to Uganda. You saw how he loved Uganda, how he moved around, visited Makerere University, and whatever went on. And Mrs. Erdogan visiting the IU campus, doing a great job. Really, we are very sure that it still rings in everybody's mind, and we are in the office of Her Excellency Ambassador SEDEF to make sure that we know whatever is going on. We are sure that as Ugandans, after the visit of His Excellency, everybody is inquiring after hearing what took place in Turkey, what we may call a coup. So for that question, we are here to get a real word from the horse's mouth, and we are in the office. Madam, can you say, greet our viewers?
Selamun alaikum. I would like to welcome Salam TV to our embassy. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Ambassador SEDEF. We are at the embassy, as we assured you that Salam TV will do everything possible, and more particularly after viewing a good documentary which was centered in Konya city. Now we are here. Whatever you hear from Madam, reflect from the documentary we have been showing at Salam TV, showing the good character of Turkish, because whoever visits Turkey is talking about the good character of people. They love people. I will never forget the food called yemek. Yemek, which food is that?
Yemek is food. Food.
It means food.
Yes.
Because when we are being invited for food, yemek, yemek, yemek.
It's a meal.
We know we have gone for a meal.
Yes.
And really, the time we are there, we studied a lot, and it's the culture we are trying to send here to Uganda. But all the same, Madam, Ugandans are very eager to hear from you. Really, what happened in Turkey on 15th July, to start with?
Yes. On 15th of July, unfortunately, traitor terrorist faction, which had established itself within the Turkish armed forces, carried out a violent coup attempt. But thanks to the Turkish nation, it has been repelled. In fact, their aim, their target was to overthrow the legitimate government and our president, His Excellency Erdogan, and instead replace our constitutional order with a junta, a military dictatorship. Of course, the Turkish people would never allow this, because the Turkish people are devoted to democracy, to their fundamental rights and freedoms, and to the constitutional order in Turkey. So these terrorists who were within the army ranks, they were wearing military uniforms. They stole our aircraft, our military helicopters, tanks and heavy weaponry, and they started to attack our people. They killed, unfortunately, they massacred 250 innocent people. Yes. And so that's what exactly happened on that night.
Have the Turkish government got a chance of handling those terrorists? Did they get them or they disappeared?
No, they have arrested them, they have detained them because the Turkish people were very brave, and together with the military, the majority of our armed forces and our security forces, they came together and they made sure to capture these traitors. They captured them, and now they are all facing a just trial.
What was the internal reaction against the attempt?
The whole of the Turkish nation was surely against such a despicable coup attempt, because in this time this is a very primitive act, and the Turkish nation is a mature democracy. They will not allow this because they have voted in a legitimate democratic government.
Yes.
And that's why the whole of the nation, including the opposition parties and the ruling party and the whole all the people from all segments of society were against it. So that's why, hand in hand with the security forces, they went out onto the streets, they stood in front of tanks, they stormed the public institutions which were being bombed and which were under attack by these coup perpetrators, and they stopped them. The Turkish nation was so brave enough to stop them with their bare hands. They didn't possess any weapons, but they had the will and the belief, and they stopped it because they are very patriotic people.
What are these people, the perpetrators? Who are these? Are they Turkish? Are they outside from Turkey? Are they from any other country? Who are these people really doing this work?
Yes, unfortunately, this was a movement which started out as a quasi-charity movement, the FETÖ, the Fethullah Gülen terrorist movement. In fact, it started out as an NGO which was carrying out some charity activities, setting up schools, setting up hospitals in various countries. And they did the same. They set up schools, dormitories, in my country, hundreds of schools and thousands of dormitories. They seemed to show themselves as a peaceful, harmonious, religious movement. But that was only window dressing. In fact, they weren't, because they were preaching the wrong messages. And in fact, they are a terrorist organization, because what kind of peaceful movement would attack its own people through the weapons belonging to the people and massacre them? This is not a religious, peaceful movement.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, they are portraying themselves as being a benevolent charity. But that is only the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, you have a huge network, a criminal organization which recruits people, and it has infiltrated into all Turkish public institutions secretly. And that is why nobody has noticed very clearly what their target has been. But now on that day, on that night, on that treacherous night, they proved that they are in fact just a terrorist organization. And of course, just as all terrorist organizations, they might have support. These are all being investigated.
How can a normal person, maybe a Ugandan, differentiate to know that these people are terrorists? Because when we see a Turkish, for us, we may not differentiate. How could we know really? Because this movement might have scattered all over the world. Is it only in Turkey, or it has moved outside Turkey?
It has many schools outside of Turkey in 160 countries, but they are known which schools they are. These are FETÖ-related, affiliated organizations. They are known. I don't think it would be difficult to pinpoint which ones they are.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. What are the measures of the government which they have taken to make sure that this vicious coup maybe stops completely and never comes again?
Yes. Well, the government, the prosecutors, the security forces, all of them have started to remove these remnants from our state institutions because they have infiltrated illegally into our state institutions within decades. But since they have concealed themselves very well, the ordinary people were unable to detect who they were and what their targets were. But now this terrorist network has come to the open. It has revealed itself clearly.
Exactly.
And that is why, within the rule of law, in accordance with international law, in accordance with our constitution, we are upholding democratic norms. But of course, we need to combat this vicious and violent and dangerous network. That's why they have to be removed from all the state institutions. Those who are directly guilty, of course, they will be tried and they will be arrested. But those who don't have such direct links will just be removed from office. And we will set up, obviously, a completely new system in our bureaucracy, which will not allow any other such secretive organization to take over state institutions. But what we saw is that the Turkish state is very strong, and this is due to the reason that the Turkish nation is very strong and patriotic. And because of that, we are strong enough to overcome such an event.
Thank you very much, Madam. What was the reaction of the international community about this issue?
Yes, our friends have displayed their solidarity with us. They have called, they have visited Turkey, they have shown their strong support because these are our friends who have understood what is going on in our country. So we thank them very much. On the other hand, we also have some friends and partners who weren't so well informed, and they didn't react as they should have. They have not been able to analyze very well what happened that evening. And I think it's also because of the mainstream media, which has misinformed them. Therefore, we hope that the realities will be understood well. And we were a bit saddened by the fact that we didn't get enough support from some of our partners.
Everybody's interested to know the security.
Yes, and I'm very happy and proud to tell you that even though 1 month has passed, now the security situation is completely under control and business is as usual. Everything is going well. The tourism, the businesses are going well. Our economy is very strong. It was able to absorb the aftershocks. Our public showed their confidence in our economy by exchanging $9 billion directly, injecting it into the economy. And our people have shown up in huge democracy rallies. Around 10 million Turkish people got together every night for the past 25 days in democracy rallies, showing that we are a mature democracy, we are behind democracy, and nobody and no force can stop this, no force can overturn this in our country. And only in Istanbul we had a 5 million strong democracy rally. So now everybody is back home. They are not guarding democracy anymore because everything is under control. And if you go to Turkey, you will see that there's not even one remaining indicator that there has been a coup attempt 1 month ago. So we invite all our brothers and sisters from Uganda to go about their businesses as usual in Turkey.
I was in Turkey like 2 months ago, and the team I was with, and whoever you talk to, whoever has ever visited Turkey, really it is the democratic security you have. You are walking in awkward hours, you meet police, they will never ask you a single word. Where is identification? where is your passport? Don't you think that these perpetrators may use your good system of giving rights to everybody to misuse that chance? Because I remember nobody, for a month I was in Turkey, asked me something. At times we could walk in the evening, even in places where you see you are the only black, and even they're excited to see a black person, but they can't ask you anything.
Yes.
Don't you think that these bad people can use that system to disorganize Turkey?
After what we saw, all the support for the democracy rallies by our nation,
Yes.
10 million people were out on the streets every night. This means that Turkey is a very safe country. I don't think that anyone should fear or be afraid, because we have 79 million people in defense of democracy and security, and that's why our country is very safe, and we are proud of that.
I think it is now clear to you, and we shall keep visiting Her Excellency, visit the embassy, and we assure you that we shall keep you updated on issues to deal with Turkey. She has said that businessmen, the academicians, because we have many students who are studying in Turkey, who have studied in Turkey, and everybody, Her Excellency is welcoming you back to Turkey. Go and do your business. The country is safe and more safer than before. Madam, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I have been the host, Abdul Karim Kalisa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول